Okay, so we have some properties of addition and multiplication that you should have learned in elementary school that we're going to review because we can use them for any number, which means we can use them for variables. So expressions with the same value, like 12 plus 7 and 7 plus 12, they both equal 19. Those are called equivalent expressions. We can use the commutative and associative properties to write equivalent expressions. So the commutative property tells us that changing the order of addends, which means when you're adding, when you're doing addition, or factors, which are multiplication, does not change the sum, addition, or product, multiplication. So again, just for addition and multiplication. So if I have 5 plus 8, that is equal to 8 plus 5. And that is true for any number. So I can say A plus B is equal to B plus A, no matter what numbers A and B are. Okay, so they can be fractions, they can be decimals, any number you can think of. If I'm adding them together, A plus B, that's the same thing as B plus A. And that's the same thing with multiplying. So this is 5 times 8 is equal to 8 times 5. And again, that's true for every single number. So I can write that as A times B is equal to B times A. And then the associative property tells us that changing the grouping of addends or factors does not change the sum or the product. So like if I do 7 plus 4 first and then add 2, I'm going to get the same answer as if I do 7 plus and 4 plus 2 first, okay? Because this is 7 plus 4 is 11, plus 2 is 13. If I do 4 plus 2, I get 6, plus 7 is still 13. And so for any number, it doesn't matter what order I write it in, as long as I'm adding, I will get the same answer. And then that's the same thing for multiplication. I can multiply 7 times 4 first, or I can multiply 4 times 2 first and then multiply by 7, and I'll get the same answer. So it's going to be the same thing. I can multiply, if I'm just multiplying, I can multiply these two numbers first or these two numbers first and then multiply by that last number. Okay, so here's an example. We're going to simplify the expression 7 plus 12 plus x. So it's telling us to do 12 plus x first. But if I don't know what x is, I cannot add it. So I'm going to rewrite this using the associative property to say that I'm going to do 7 plus 12 first and then add x. So I'm going to add 7 and 12, which is 19, plus x. And I did not do a great job writing that x. I apologize. So 19 plus x. And that is my expression. I am done. I don't know what x is, so I'm not doing anything else. Same thing, simplify the expression 6 plus 6.1 or 6 and 1/10 plus x plus 8 and 4/10. So first, the commutative property tells me I can add in any order inside. So I'm going to rearrange here and say x plus 6 and 1/10 plus 8 and 4/10. Then I'm going to use the associative property to say that x plus 6 and 1/10 plus 8 and 4/10. I'm going to do that first. So if I add those, 6 and 1/10, so I'm going to do 6 and 1/10 plus 8 and 4/10 is 5/10, 14 and 5/10. So my answer is x plus 14 and 5/10. And I'm done. I can't do anything else until I know what x is. Next one, I have simplify the expression 5 times 11 times y. So 11y means 11 times y. So the associative property tells us that I can rewrite this as 5 times 11 first and then multiply times y. So I'm going to multiply 5 and 11, which is 55, times y, I can just write as y. And that's it. I'm done. Then we also have the addition property of 0, which tells us that the sum of any number and 0 is that number. So any number you can think of, like here I've got 7 plus 0 is still equal to 7. So any number you can think of, if I take that number and add 0, I'm still going to have that number. And then we also have multiplication properties of 0 and then also 1. So the product of any number and 0 is 0. So 9 times 0 is 0. Any number you can think of times 0 is equal to 0. No matter what number you can think of, it's going to equal 0. And the product of any number and 1 is also that number. So 4 times 1 is equal to 4. Any number you can think of times 1 is equal to that number. So here we have simplified the expression 9 times 0 times p. So we're going to use the associative property of multiplication, which tells us that we can multiply, we can change the order. So if I do this as 0 times 9 times p, so 0 times 9 is 0 times p, my answer is 0. So that is just my entire answer. Then I have 4.5 times r times 1. So again, I'm going to multiply here first. So I'm going to do 4.5 times r times 1. R times 1 is 1. So then that's 4.5 times r, which is just 4 5/10 r. And I am done. And then I have a real life example. So you and 6 friends are playing on a basketball team. A sponsor paid $100 for the league fee, X dollars, so an unknown amount of dollars for each player's t-shirt, and $68.25 for trophies. We're going to write an expression for the total amount the sponsor paid. So we're going to add the league fee, the cost of the t-shirts, and the cost of the trophies. Now, a common error is when it says you and 6 friends means 7 people, not 6 people. You and 6 means 1 plus 6 or 7. So I'm going to add the league fee, which is $100, and the cost of the t-shirts and the cost of the trophies. But this isn't simplified because I can put these constants together. So I'm going to put 100 plus 68 and 25/100 plus X. So then I'm going to write like if I add those together, I get $168.25 plus X, and I am done. You also could write X plus $168 and I don't know what happened there, and 25 cents. These are equivalent. They have the same answer.